Hi, I'm Courtney. This is Something Positive for Positive People, and today I'm here with V from the UK, who's 28 years old. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. And what is your ethnicity and career field?
So I am a black woman and I work in IT at the moment.
Okay. You say at the moment, are you going into something else?
Well, ideally, I want to create a brand that empowers women that are going through depression and sort of a sense of self worth and self esteem. So,
Oh, okay. So are you working with a
actually,
nonprofit
that's
now?
right.
Are you working with a nonprofit or are you creating something like
Uh,
that?
oh no, so I'm currently just working in the company right now, but ideally,
Ooh,
I want to create a non-profit.
okay, look at you. That's great. What made you want to go into that? Was there anything in particular that happened to you?
Yeah, so I've suffered from depression for, I used to suffer from depression for, um, say, a couple of years. So through counseling, I just thought, you know what, I really want to help women build their self-worth. And while I was going through that, I also found out a lot of my friends were suffering through it. So it was something that really sort of, I guess, touched my heart that there are a lot of women out there that don't have anyone to speak to and they don't realize that they're not alone. So yeah,
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're doing something positive for positive people. um, so, what is your condition, V?
so I currently have herpes type 2.
And how long have you had it? As far as you know, when were you diagnosed?
I've had it for just under a year. Um, so yeah, I was diagnosed last year November, and it's been, I'll say, a roller coaster actually.
Yeah. So, what made you go and get checked?
So I was currently seeing a guy at the time, and it was our first time without a condom, and he had called me the day after, and he was like, he's got a tingle, and I just thought, oh gosh, let's, I need to get checked out. So I got checked out. Everything was clear, and then I realized that I had a sore in my genital area,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got checked out again, and when the doctor saw it, he said that, oh, it was like herpes. And I just thought to myself, no, it can't be herpes. I mean, you know. And the thing is, at that point in time, I knew nothing about herpes, but I was just convinced that there was no way that it was herpes.
Yeah.
But so the hospital called about a week later, and they said that it's herpes type 2. And all they said to me was, just don't have sex when you get an outbreak. Like that was all they said. Um, and I was just a bit distraught and confused. And I actually thought that I thought I was the one that gave it to my boyfriend at the time. So I called him, and he didn't seem like upset or anything about it. He just seemed quite understanding. And at that point in time, I thought, who would want me with this? The fact that he's so understanding, I think part of me felt like I should just stay with him and be with him because he's accepted me for who I am. And considering at the time I thought that I might have given it to him, he just seemed very forgiving about it.
Mm.
Um, so I went through, it was a rough period because I did a lot of research. And it was just a case of, I think what got me upset the most was just the fact that they said, like, oh, there's no cure. You just have to live with it for the rest of your life, and that's it. And yeah, so it calmed me down a lot. And as I was saying before, because I have the history of depression, I just went down into a depressive state. And it took me a while to come out of it. I mean, I was off work for like maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I just wanted to sort of, I had suicidal thoughts, if I'm honest. Because I just thought it just seems like the worst thing in the world. And I would get outbreaks like every month, and I would read up on sometimes I didn't even get twice a month. It was, yeah, so it was just very frustrating.
Well,
And another thing I could,
do you get these outbreaks around the time of your cycle? I know that that's always been a common thing for a
yeah,
lot
so
of
I
women.
could search that up and no. So originally I would note down when I got an outbreak and what my cycle was, and it's like no correlation whatsoever.
Okay.
It's literally like it could be the middle, the end, the beginning of the month, and so it was nothing to. I think it's nothing to do with my cycle, really.
Hmm. So
Yeah. So
how do you deal with them? Are you taking any sort of suppressive medication? Are you taking meds as needed, or what?
so I went to the doctors about twice, and every time I went, the doctor would just give me one of the I think it was like, I think 5 days.
For 5 days?
Yeah.
The medication that you take it once a pill or one pill a day for 5 days. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. But I never took it.
What?
So I just yeah. So I think okay. So I guess from like the beginning, my boyfriend at the time was very like a very holistic, natural person. Like everything I did was like natural remedies.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a lot of natural remedies. So I'll take Epsom salt baths. I would treat it with tea tree oil. What was I doing? I even tried acupuncture and Chinese herbal medicine.
Did any of that work
Just
for you?
I think it actually, because even though I was getting it once a month, I realized that when I stopped doing all of that, I was starting to get it twice a month.
Uh-huh.
So I think it helped to a certain degree. And I think also, I think it was just difficult to take. Well, for me, my mind, I wanted to sort of deal with it naturally,
Yeah.
you know. And I think what probably put me off is that I read somewhere that I think one person was taking suppressive medicine and it wasn't helping them at all. I just thought, no, I don't know. I don't want to hope that it'll help, but then it doesn't. So I've just kind of been dealing with it naturally. So far this month, I haven't had an outbreak. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's what.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I understand and respect you for not wanting to take the medication and to take a more holistic approach. Have you never taken the medication? Have you tried taking it to see what would happen?
I've never taken it, no.
Okay, okay, yeah, no worries. Um, Now, so your boyfriend was understanding and accepting of it. So, what was going on around the time of your diagnosis in your everyday life? I mean, you were in a committed relationship, and
Yeah.
like what else was happening around that?
So obviously there was work and, well, as I was saying, during that depressive state, it was hard for me to go to work. It was, and also I was trying to set up my business along the side, but because of my mental state and where I was, I just didn't do anything about it. So that
Hmm.
was literally on hold. And I was just really, it's gonna sound stupid, but I was just really sad about the whole situation. And I think it was just difficult for me. So what I would try to do is I tried to talk to some of my closest friends. Um, and what was really great was that everyone was so understanding and supportive, and they were being like really positive. You know, they said that if something that happens, bear in mind most of them don't have herpes. So they were really understanding and encouraging, and they were there for me in terms of talking to someone and just sometimes when I have an outbreak, I just need someone to talk to and just be there and listen. And then through that, I actually found out that one of my friends, she actually had the same condition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I say that like
Um,
I'm excited about like someone else getting herpes, but I promise I'm not. I'm more so excited that you opened up to someone and they were willing to open up to you as well and share that
yeah,
information with you. And now
yeah,
you have a deeper connection with a close friend as a result of it. So that's when That's what I mean by yay.
I know it's cool. Yeah. So she was. I think when I spoke to her, she actually made me feel okay with it in the sense that the thing is with her one's type one,
Mm-hmm.
so she doesn't get. Well, I'm not saying it's because she's type one, but with her, she doesn't get as many outbreaks as I do. She gets it like once a year,
Uh,
if that. Yeah. So
because I
it's
mean,
like.
I have HSV too as well, and as far as I know, I mean, I've had my first outbreak, and then like one, maybe two. But whenever I feel something coming along, like I'll just take the medication. Like if there's any sort of a tingling sensation, I just pop the pill for like 2 days, and then the tingling's gone. So like that's what works for me. And I mean, if she has HSV1, I don't want to say that just because she has a different type of herpes that there's a correlation between the frequency of
Exactly.
outbreaks as well. So
Yeah.
everybody's different. That's something that I'm learning as well, and just talking to
Yes.
more and more people who have some form of HSV.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. So with her, one essentially once or twice a year, and she was saying that what triggers her off is if she gets stressed as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, okay, maybe that's what's was in mind. Maybe I'm getting stressed every month.
Yeah.
So I tried to be
You
as
get
calm as
stressed around the first of the month when bills are due. Is that when it happens? I know that's when I get stressed. I'm like, damn, I gotta pay
I get
these
stressed
bills.
throughout the month.
uh, but so you have your friend. I mean, whenever you have your outbreaks, you manage it really just by having someone to talk to who understands what it is that you're going through, and just that helps you cope with the pain.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. So that helps me. It helped me like mentally deal with it. So I don't even think it was the pain so much. It was my mental state of mind. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
It was
does.
just a case of being in such a dark place about something which really, as when I think about it, is literally just a skin condition. And
It's a nerve condition, and
I know,
all
but I mean,
right.
like, you know, I mean, how it pops up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like not taking myself out of the dark place and just living life and continuing things and not letting it stop me. But I think what was bugging me the most was at the back of my mind. I just thought that I'd never meet anyone or be with anyone, be with someone who has herpes.
Mm-hmm.
So hence why I was staying with my boyfriend. Because before the whole diagnosis, I was actually planning to break up with him.
No, he
Yeah.
trapped you.
Bingo. Yeah.
uh, so you were planning to break up with him, and it didn't have any. I mean, was it just like you guys were two different people? Like it wasn't like, I don't know. There wasn't any sort of resistance or resentment because of the herpes. It was just like before you even knew about this, you had planned on
Yeah.
breaking up with him. Okay,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you plan on breaking up with him. How much longer did you stay with him after your diagnosis out of that fear of being alone? You still with him?
First time.
Are you still with him?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
How long did I stay with him? I think I stayed with him for about 3 months
Okay. So
afterwards.
after
Yeah.
3 months, like what was the final straw? What was it that made you realize, okay, this isn't a real reason to stay with this guy just because I have herpes? Or how did you even find out that that was what it was? Were you just so uncompatible or what?
No, so he's not a bad guy or anything. It was just a case of I wanna, I mean, ideally, in the future, I wanna get married. And he was saying that that's not his priority. So when we
Mm,
had that conversation, I just thought, okay, maybe I should, um, we should, just end it and just be friends, you know?
mm-hmm.
Um, but then I think what the final straw was he stopped putting in effort. So he wasn't calling as much. He didn't want to see me as much. So I just thought, you know what? There's no point in me chasing this guy. Obviously, he has other priorities. But
Oh,
let's just let it be, you know? So
yeah.
at that moment in time, I just thought, like, okay, I deserve better. I deserve someone who wants me, so to speak. Um, and yeah, so we broke up. And
Who did it? Did you do it or did he do it? Who did it first?
I did.
Like that'd be funny though if he's like, "Oh wait, you want to have this talk? I wanted to have it as well, so it's over. Bye."
No. I don't think he was even expecting it, to be fair.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so you guys go your separate ways. You realize this isn't what I want. I want something else. What gave you the
Yeah.
strength to walk away from that relationship, considering how you felt about your condition? We talked before, and you said to me that when you were diagnosed, you felt like, okay, no one's gonna want me. All right, I'll just stay in this relationship, and clinging on to that relationship, you realized it wasn't for you. What was it exactly? I mean, that got you to that point? Because I know a lot of people do find themselves settling for less than what it is that they deserve as a result of, even just having herpes and feeling stuck with someone. So for someone
Yeah.
who's stuck, what do you suggest for them getting out of that stuck situation?
I would say it's gonna sound so cliche, but know your worth. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have the best. There's no reason why something like herpes should change that. You're not damaged goods. You are someone who has gone through something, and it doesn't change your value. It doesn't change the fact that you deserve love. I feel like I've read so many stories about people with herpes who have met people without herpes, and that partner accepts them for who they are, get married, have kids, wipe
Right.
picket fence and everything. And there's lots of people with herpes, and it's just like there's no reason why you should settle. And I think another thing I've learned that because I had suffered through depression, and I always used to say that to myself was that life is too short to not give yourself the best.
Hmm.
So don't like settle for things that don't make you happy. Because life, you should love yourself enough that you want the best for yourself. So I think that's what was going through my mind. It's like, do I love myself? Yes, I do. And
Yes.
does this relationship make me happy? No, it doesn't. So, I think it's also the fear. That fear goes away, and all of it gets easier. Like I promise. I know some people be listening and they'll think, oh, it doesn't get better. I promise you, it gets better because each day is like a growing process for you.
Mm.
So you'll get to the point where you start accepting it. I mean, I'm still going through that process. So, but I know that I'm in a much better place now than I was last year when I was diagnosed. So everyone will get to a place, or I think everyone has someone. So I think they'll always meet whoever they're meant to be with, and hopefully won't stop that from happening.
Yeah. That's a really, really good point. That you'll be with the person you're supposed to be with, and herpes not stopping that from happening because regardless of what it is that you go through in life, it's still going to lead you to where you're going to be in life.
You're meant to
And for
be.
you to feel
Exactly.
like you're going to just end up doing life alone, if that isn't what you want, you have the choice as to whether or not you go through life alone or with
Yeah.
someone. And like I always say, herpes is something that just happened to us. So
Yeah.
it's not who we are. And
Exactly.
I think that that's a very important message to get across. And I'm very glad that you recognized that early on, quickly after your diagnosis, and when you realized you were in a relationship where you were settling and you began to just pursue happiness for yourself.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm not going to say it's easy because I know sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I was fine with it. But it takes time. I think anything that's worth or anything that's good, sometimes you have to work for it and it takes time. So
Yeah.
just work on yourself and, say positive things to yourself every day if that helps.
I mean,
I know that helped me.
saying you love yourself alone is just powerful because how often do we say I love you to other people, just to hear it back? When do we
Exactly.
ever take the time to say, look in the mirror and just say, I love you?
Yeah.
And once you start to do that and realize you love yourself, you stop making really bad decisions. You start to do what's in your own personal best interest, of course, as long as you're not inflicting any harm on anybody else. Oh, you feel okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you
Yeah.
wiping your eyes. You all right?
I'm okay. Oh, you
what's
can see me, can't you? Yeah.
what's going on? What's going on in your head right now?
I think it's just where I've come, you know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, as I said, it's not an easy journey, but it's worth it. Sorry, I'm just an emotional person.
No, it's all right. That's what we
Yeah,
want. Like this is yours. I mean, this is for you to get off your chest and share with the world and hopefully help somebody. So I appreciate
yeah.
you, taking this step. And I know it was real. There was a quick turnaround time for this one. uh, I'm very
I
glad that
know,
you.
right?
I'm very glad you reached out and said that you wanted to hop on here and share your own
Yeah,
personal story. Um,
yeah.
no, I thought you were gonna say something else. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
trying to.
that's cool.
All right, I'm trying to stall while you get it together. I see.
Okay, I've got it together. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Okay. Cool. So depression. Let's talk about the depression for a second. I want to talk about
Okay.
this organization that you're working on.
Yes. So it's well, I guess part of it's going to be non-profit, part of it's going to be a company. I wanted to start. So ever since you know, I've always wanted to start a fashion label, and I thought, obviously going through depression and counseling, I also wanted to help women. So I thought I should combine the two and create a brand where it encourages women and helps build women from the outside and the inside. So I wanted to have like events that women can attend and share their stories with each other. I wanted to start a blog soon, and hopefully a YouTube channel as well, just to talk about my experience and offer just uh, an ear or a shoulder to other women and find a way that we can all come together and just empower each other from our stories and how we've battled what we've battled and how we're stronger at the other side of it. So that's basically what that's a vision
Yeah.
basically.
Hey, but that's a starting point. You have a
Yeah,
vision lined up, and at this point, it's just a matter of you taking the steps towards what that vision is and doing what you have to do.
yeah,
So, I mean, I support you. Anything I can do to help. If you need to get your message out there, whatever, like use this
yeah.
opportunity to do so. I wish you nothing but the best. And
Thank
if
you.
you could just, if you could share like one thing with someone else, let's say you're talking to yourself who's newly diagnosed, or just some random newly diagnosed person, you have one sentence to leave that person with to help them. What would that one sentence be?
It gets better and don't give up.
It gets better and don't give up.
Yes.
Words from my girl V in the UK.
Yeah.
So you thought I was gonna say your real name?
I was just like, I want the people go.
No, I didn't. Um, well, you a little doing that weird stuttering thing. Um, is there anything else that you want to say or leave us with?
I think also if it helps, if you feel like you don't have anyone else to speak to, I would say go counseling.
Hmm.
Like, there's definitely power in counseling. Um, some people are a bit apprehensive about it, but I kid you, there's nothing to be scared of. Sometimes you'll be surprised what you can learn about yourself through going counseling. So I would say do that as well. Even if you have someone to speak to, go counseling. I
Yeah.
think counseling is like the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find you're like going through a hard time, like don't be afraid to find some help. everyone needs a bit of help in their lives at one point in time, so do it.
Okay. Do you have any particular resources that help you out?
I think, what do I do? So with me, I do a lot of positive affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Gain some positive affirmation cards. As soon as you wake up, read it and sort of meditate on it for the morning. And just keep saying that to yourself throughout the day. That definitely helps.
Okay.
And praying helps me as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, this concludes this episode of Something Positive for Positive People with V. I'm done saying what episode number it is because I'm going to eventually mess up and I really don't want to have to edit these. So if we can just get them done in one take like today, then I'm happy with it. I would like to go back and edit out that blah, blah, blah part thing I did, but I don't know, it makes it just seem more natural. And as long as you're okay with everything that we've talked about so far being in here, I won't edit anything out. Is there anything that you said that when I get off here you're gonna be like, Courtney, you need to delete that right now. Delete that part, edit this. You don't have anything like that, do you?
No, you can put it all up there.
All right. Don't be surprised if you get that link to the YouTube video right after this. So So, like I said, this concludes this episode of Something Positive for Positive People with V from the UK. I can be, well, please follow me. I'm asking for you to please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at H on my chest. That's where I'll have all the updates on the episodes and I'll post some things that I find that may be interesting or like people's comments on the show and all that kind of stuff. If you know someone who probably could stand to listen to this or is going through something and they feel like they're alone but they're relatable to V, please don't hesitate to send this to them. And if anyone out there listening wants to share their own personal story or you feel like you have a unique experience or a one-off, don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at H on my chest, or you can just shoot me an email at CourtneyWBrame@gmail.com. That's CourtneyW and then BRAME @gmail.com. Peace. Say bye, V.
Bye, guys.
Oh yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Thanks.